If you fail, fuck it. You fail, pick yourself up, move on, do something different. Good morning. Wow, it has been way too long. Cheers. It's December 14th. Nope. It is December 15th, 2019. And I don't even really know where to start. The last video that I posted was in March, and shame on me. I should have known better than to go gung-ho and not have content already predetermined and pre-uploaded and pre-everything. Shame on me. We're here. Everybody's still here, but some really, really big changes. So hesitant to share and go into real big detail about the personal stuff, but literally everything is personal for me, everything. So how do you not share it? It's been a really crazy year. So last we spoke, we were still flipping the house. It finally got finished up. Everything closed at the end of July. To finally get that wrapped up and that chapter of life closed was awesome. But it was not without its own kind of destruction, whatever we want to call it. It was pretty crazy. The plan was initially for the flip to take about 4 months, and it ended up taking about 14. I think we both knew that there were enough issues kind of along the way that once the house was done, we were actually gonna have to dive into those. I was able to kind of look back at that year and it was okay that things I had asked for had slid. Maybe I shouldn't say it was okay. I understood why, but it wasn't necessarily okay. It is what it is. I knew that as soon as the house was done, that he was gonna need to start kind of making some progress towards the things that we had talked about. Him getting into therapy and really digging into some of the deeper issues that he was struggling with. Again, without going into too much detail. We'll protect the non-present. Got the house wrapped up, and with 6 weeks later, he'd still made no progress and no effort. I had already started my own journey, right? 2019, I said it last year, Project 2019, we're gonna do this. Fuck all of this waiting and waiting to be happy until something happens. Fuck that. Let's go. So that was that was the way that I approached 2019. And here we are. Kind of just laid it down for him and was like, I'm done. He and I are in couples therapy together, and the intent behind it being, how do we give the girls the very best opportunity for success? Divorce is not easy on kiddos. Although my parents aren't divorced, they're still together. I've seen what it can do. I've seen what really bad divorces can do to kids, and I've seen what really great divorces can do for kids. I think there's so much opportunity here for them to see what successful relationships look like, what healthy relationships look like, and how to navigate relationships with people when they're not in love. In my mind, it was gonna be way, way too weird for those girls to grow up in a house where mom and dad didn't really have a normal marriage type relationship. We talked about long before we had kids that if things kind of went the way they have, that we would just stay together and find a way to make it work, but we would be together in the house. And it's always funny, right? You look back and you're like, wow, it was so naive. What a great thought, in theory, but what were we thinking? I'm exploring my own social life and just enjoying living for myself right now and for the girls. One of the things that really made it so clear to me how this was all gonna play out was that when I thought about being alone, versus being married, the idea of being alone, like single, like this is it, I'm me, I'm here, and this is it. Like there's no grass is greener, there's no other person. Like that idea in my mind was so much more comforting than the idea of living in a marriage where I was unhappy. I'm stoked for 2020. I am so excited for a new decade. It's time for a change. And I may not even use any of this, but I think that it's important that I at least get this recorded. I'm not unfeeling. There's some things that I've learned over the last few weeks that have really hurt. That much I definitely won't go into detail on here. The one thing that I'm really working on as I go forward into my next relationship, it's that I have a lens through which I see the world. We all do. We all have some kind of tinting on that lens. When things happen, whether it's to us, about us, around us, all of that, we see it a certain way and we give it meaning. We just do. So my kind of go forward takeaway from this relationship is ultimately, how do I try and approach stuff that happens, shit that goes down within a relationship without placing so much meaning on it, if that makes sense. For example, when the girl's dad lost his job, that was a huge blow. And this was right before they were born. So I put a lot of meaning on that. You know, I grew up where my mom told me since the age of 3 that I need to be a contributing member of society. And a big part of that is having a job. So when he lost his job, it wasn't so much that he lost his job, it was that I placed meaning on that, right? It was like, you're not capable of providing, you're, you know, all the things I guess that go around that, like not contributing member of society, you're not the person that I thought you were. There's, you know, this myriad of thoughts that come with it, and that's not necessarily fair. So that's a catch-up. On another note, I am super excited for the future of this place, the future of Pink Iron, because we've got some really great people that are going to be, hopefully, I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully taking more ownership of the brick and mortar location, which means that I will get to have our oversight on the brand, franchising efforts, kind of the big picture go forward. And I could not be more excited about that. Absolutely could not be more excited. And you guys get ready, look out, it's gonna go down and it's gonna be amazing. So online platform is coming, 2020, finally gonna get it done. I think the only other thing that has really changed since the last time I recorded was I've been playing a crap load of tennis and have really been able to tap into an awesome community here. It's been so much fun getting to know these ladies, getting to be competitive again, getting to just go out and kick ass and not care what, you know, I look like or whatever. It's so fun. I'm down about 22 pounds since the end of August. I also have almost my whole sleeve done. We're almost there. I know that 2019 was a very rough year, not just for me, but for a lot of you out there, but it all happens for a reason, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. You're exactly there. So if you're struggling, feeling challenged, not really understanding why something is happening or why it's going down in the way that it is, just know, I mean, truly lean into this, that if you keep that faith and that belief that the universe has your back, because it does, then you got this. Just be patient. I know that 2.5 years ago, when we were starting this place, I didn't want to be the main coach and the face and the everything. I wanted to manage a brand and grow a company. And I've been in this location for 2.5 years now. It's taken that long for the pieces to fall into place the way that they've needed to, so that I could do the thing I dreamed of doing. You know, money's great. We all need money. But it can't buy you everything. Like, I know that that's so cheesy, but it's so true. You know, I had all this money to put into this gym when we opened it. It goes so fast, and you can't buy people into memberships. You can't buy people into a community. You have to put in the effort, grassroots, from the bottom up. You have to grow it. You can't pay a plant to grow. You have to nurture it and take care of it. It's the same way with our bodies, with our minds, our spirits, and with the community. 2.5 years later, the universe had something really incredible in store, obviously, because it's been quite a learning experience. I'm so thankful for every opportunity along the way, particularly the ones that hurt, particularly the ones that challenged me. You know, things like barely keeping our house out of foreclosure. Like, that shit's rough and it's real. And people don't talk about it. They just don't, right? Entrepreneurship is tough. But if you're willing to eat some shit and eat some dirt and keep going, it'll be worth it. That's the hard part, because most people don't want to do that. And I can't say that I've grinded as hard as I possibly could. I can't say that. I've taken breaks, taken vacation, taken days off. I give myself a little bit of grace because I have a full-time job. I have 2 little girls that need me. And for a while I tried to not completely neglect the husband that I had. I know that I gave it 130% effort, but I also know that there are things I could have done differently. And that's okay. I'm still very young and have a lot of time left. So that's my other advice. Patience. You have plenty of time. Even if you feel like you're getting towards the end. You're 75, 80 years old and you're watching this on YouTube, you fucking rock. But also, 2.5 years, like, people squander that away. Instead, like, let's do something. Fucking do something. 2020, new decade, new year, new you, whatever you want to do with that. But it's a new time, it's a new decade. Why not just go for it? If you fail, fuck it. You fail, pick yourself up, move on, do something different. Do the same thing, just do it differently. Fucking cares. 2020 is gonna be a year of no censorship, so if you don't like swearing, get the fuck out. Here we are. More workout videos this year. We'll talk more about like nutrition and stuff a little bit, but like, I'm not a nutritionist, so I'll just tell you kind of what I'm doing and how it's working for me. There's some cool stuff coming. Hopefully more videos if I can keep my act together. That's the big project for 2020. Title TBD, content TBD. I've got some really cool stuff planned though. It's gonna be really good. So that's everything I've got for today. I hope y'all have an amazing week, and hopefully if I can keep my act together, I'm making no promises right now, but hopefully if I can keep my act together, you'll have another video at least by next weekend. So y'all have a great week. Cheers.